Welcome back to the Midlife Empress Podcast. Well, today is another Me Podcast special guest. And I love bringing you guests that add value to you, our listeners. I met this beautiful woman in a Facebook group, and we totally had a lovely chat. I'm so honored to have her here on the show today. Dr. Alexis Sams is a holistic physical therapist and functional medicine specialist. She's dedicated to empowering individuals to conquer chronic symptoms and illness through her innovative food clues approach. So, by decoding the hidden messages behind food preferences, Dr. Sams helps her clients identify external factors and underlying issues while driving chronic symptoms, and issues. She offers comprehensive path, that's going to help the healing without prescriptions. Wow. Without shots, without tons of doctor visits. Amazing, right? So with treatment that focuses well beyond managing symptoms, her groundbreaking method has transformed the lives of so many. And she's guided them towards health and everlasting well-being. Dr. Alexis is a self-proclaimed foodie, the author of Food Clues. She's decoding the hidden message behind your food's likes and dislikes. Dr. Alexis Sams, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here. I cannot wait to unravel some amazing things here. I just, I feel like we all need to be looking at our food, and of course it leaves clues, and we definitely need to be living for longevity. And I think a lot of that is the most important part of today's world with the food sources that we are given.
Yes,
So,
100%.
yeah. So, Dr. Sams, what's your story in all this?
So, number one, my story is definitely a faith journey. This is definitely a God-driven and God-ordained.
Say amen. Yes.
I did not. I love what I do now. It's so impactful. It's so wonderful. But I have to be honest when I say I did not wake up one morning and say that this is what I was going to do. This was not my career path. Ironically, like a lot of, people God chose in the Bible. It wasn't what they thought they would be doing. They didn't think they were qualified.
Right.
That's exactly how I feel about this. I'm a physical therapist by license, and I originally started out owning a performing arts injury prevention clinic because I grew up as a dancer. So I grew up wanting to learn more about the body and help dancers dance better lives. So that was my first, as soon as I graduated from physical therapy school, I got that all set up. And then when the pandemic came, dance became, non-essential.
Right.
And I had a functional medicine background when I was working with my dancers, because sometimes it was often digestive health, menstrual issues that was holding back their performance. So after the pandemic, my clinic shifted focus to that. I started getting more phone calls about help to boost immune health, and then it turned into, can you help me get off of my blood pressure medication, my thyroid medication, my HRT, as a matter of fact. That's a large part of my clientele as well. And then one day, some of those same clients that I was working on with other things started telling me that I used to have food allergies, but now like I can eat this and that, more. And so I started noticing that trend. So I added, in addition to the other conditions and illnesses that I help people manage, I did end up adding food allergies and intolerances. But I'm excited to talk to you and talk to your listeners about using that same approach of foods and the clues, the nutritional clues that foods leave for us, and how that links to our menstrual journey, especially as we transition into our menopausal phases.
Yeah, that's so important these days because not every woman wants to be on hormone replacement therapy. I'm her.
Yes.
I choose the holistic approach. And what's mind blowing is, I had a thyroid issue, and I think that's what threw me into menopause. I know that's what threw me into early menopause. And, taking it into the nutrition realm, guess what? I don't have a thyroid issue anymore because I focused on healing my thyroid with nutrition. And
Mhm.
it can be done. It can be done. And what's amazing is what you said. I had no clue that I would be sitting here helping menopausal women, right?
Mhm.
My mess became my message. And I'm just so grateful right now that we have this platform that we're on here right now in this very moment, because there is a need right now for everything that we're doing here, all these holistic nutrition approaches. There is a need to help women. There's a need to just help women dig deep into the nutrition background and what's going on with the food and why this is happening in their bodies. So
Mhm.
it's a need. So I want to ask you, what inspired you the most to develop the food clues approach?
Actually, the clients
Mhm.
inspired me, and I started noticing God's gift of giving me the ability to quickly start making these connections and associations. I
Yes.
and it took me a while. It took me a while, to be
Yeah.
honest, to kind of identify, oh, that's a talent. Like, to be able to
Mhm.
do it quickly, to be able to listen to my clients and hear the clues that they are giving me. But yeah, they were the catalyst. Like I said, for anybody, if you have known of me or known of any of my work before this podcast, you may have heard me talk about my client Rhonda. She was the
Uh-huh.
very first one to just come in and say, my melon allergy has disappeared. We went to a
Mhm.
cookout, there was cantaloupe and watermelon there, and she had like a great time. And they haven't come back. And as I heard more and more clients talk about how their tolerance of foods changed, I started looking more and more of that, almost like a reverse engineer. You
Yeah.
know, if
Yeah.
their tolerance is getting better, what did we do to get it better? And then what was it about the food then that was making them have a problem in the first place? So approaching things from two ends, meeting in the middle, has
Yeah.
been my key and my ticket to
Mhm.
helping clients, like you said, be able to get off of hormone replacement therapy, thyroid meds, improve like their day-to-day symptoms, just so they can feel better living their day-to-day lives.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling when the doctor hands you a chart of 300 women in a black dress and there's one lady in a red dress, and you're like, well, what is this? Well, this is hormone replacement therapy. I knew then when he handed me that pamphlet that I was not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. I chose not, because I knew that there was something out there. And of course, 7 years of researching how this all works out,
Mhm.
we bridge the gap. So I love that you can bridge the gap for women also in finding out what's the clue there, what's going on. Let's bring it together.
Yep, meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
I find that what's, I think, the most interesting, which is also like the greatest opportunity, is that a lot of women, I end up having conversations and either reminding them or kind of letting them know that the midlife and specifically like the menopause experience, it really is what it said, like menopause,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pausing the menstrual cycle, because that is a part of our lives that we are moving on from. But I'm realizing a lot of media and a lot of where we are now is that there's an equating of menopause or stopping the menstrual cycle to hormone pause and
Yeah.
stopping hormone function. And those are two completely different things. And
Yes.
what I find myself doing is having conversations to remind people that menopause does not mean hormone pause. And a lot
Right.
of sometimes the issues, the symptoms that we're experiencing or that HRT, offering as a solution is a result of hormones being paused when they're not supposed to. So that meeting in the middle is me using the food clues to figure out what's pausing your hormone production when it's not supposed to be paused, which is
exactly,
like I said, like a wonderful opportunity to be able to share with women and let them know, like, this is not the dead end. This is not the end of the road per se. Hormone production is supposed to keep going, and we need to figure out what's holding you up in order to do that. And that's what I use the food clues approach to do.
Yeah. And I mean, I think sometimes too, we just need to take a little bit more, feel a little more insights into whenever we take in food, how do we feel after? Like for myself, just for instance, inside, taking in caffeine for me throws me into hot flashes like crazy. So, all food has clues. So if you have to become aware of how you're feeling after you've eaten the food too, you have to take notes, what's going on, everything that you put in your body, it's going to react to it differently. Some people can handle the caffeine, some people can't. But I know the midlife menopausal women, caffeine is really not the thing for you if you are having hot flashes. It's not the thing in general. But let me tell you, if you are one that's struggling with the hot flashes, stay away from the caffeine. It's a trigger. It's a trigger.
Those can be triggers in very many cases. And it's about, like you said, bringing that awareness and honoring. I spend a lot of time honoring people's awareness and honoring people's responses. I think we've gotten away from how our bodies respond to certain foods, the ones we gravitate towards and the ones that we avoid. We've gotten away from honoring the fact that we prefer or avoid those things, because that's where the clues start, whether we like it, whether it does something adversely in our symptoms.
And I think too that we go through life so fast that we forget that we are a human being, that we need to take account for what's happening in our daily life.
Yes. And find the right practitioners that will listen to you as you're advocating for those feelings.
That's exactly right. That was my next words. We have to advocate, we have to advocate and have others help us figure out what's going on. So it's just a blessing that we get to be here, in this moment discussing this, because this is so important. Food clues is so important. And I'm so grateful that you have this approach to help women. So could you discuss for me the connection between the food reactions and the common menopause signs and symptoms?
Sure. So I think the easiest way might be to give an example. That's kind of like the easiest way. So let's see. Let's get some common examples. Eggs is a very common example. Shellfish, so like your shrimp, crab, lobster, and like your cruciferous vegetables.
Yes.
Your broccoli, your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts. So those are 3 examples of foods that point to different types of functions within the liver. The liver also helps us metabolize cholesterol. It also helps us manage and effectively use our estrogen and even our progesterone a little bit more optimally. So on one end, if we're getting our menopause symptoms, our hot flashes when we're in estrogen imbalance, our migraines when we're in a progesterone imbalance. If you've got your menopause symptoms over here, and I know that that means that there's a hormone imbalance, and I want to know what might the imbalance be so that I can fix it. And then I look at your food clues assessment, and you also let me know that you don't like eggs or shellfish or broccoli. That lets me know that more than likely, one of the first places I know I want to look to help these menopause symptoms is in your liver.
Right. Right.
Because the properties of egg, the properties of the broccoli and cauliflower, those actually point to functions that the liver does to help detoxify the body,
Yes.
particularly of those estrogens and progesterone.
Yes.
So when you avoid those foods, your body is telling me, I can't handle them for a certain reason. And if you can't handle the foods, the properties of those foods are what you need to help metabolize the hormones. So that's the essence of the food clues. I'm looking at your symptoms over here. I'm looking at the foods that you might not prefer or actually avoid. And then what is it about those foods that I know link back to that hormone function? And then I meet in the middle. So in this example, meeting in the middle might be the part of my program that goes and looks a little bit more closely at liver function, flushing out the liver, healing the liver tissue, and then restoring and optimizing liver function. So that's essentially the whole food clues approach. And that's what's been able to help, like I said, help my clients like reduce and eventually like get off of their HRT, because then will have restored that hormone balance and that normalized hormone production. It helped to get off of like thyroid medications and stuff. So that's it in a nutshell. And it's handling all the nuances in between so that you can still live your day-to-day life,
Right.
Live your lifestyle, and also feel empowered with the information along the way, because there is a lot of like learning and education that goes with that. So hopefully that kind of gives you a glimpse into
that. Does. It's amazing. And we got to cleanse that liver, girl. We got to. And this is amazing that we can do through our nutrition. I mean, God gave us this for a reason, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
What are some of the practical steps that women can take to start identifying, their own food clues and addressing, the menopause symptoms naturally, holistically?
I would say two things. One of them is kind of intuitive, and two of them is kind of like my gift to the world. The first one is, like I said, just honoring your body's responses and starting to, if you're not already taking notes and like noting those responses, start kind of paying attention and noticing the foods that you actually avoid. You'll hear me say a ton of times, the foods you avoid are a clue to your health.
Yes.
Avoidance is protection up from the body's perspective. You avoid things.
Yeah.
You avoid putting things in your body that will harm it in some way. So noting the foods and don't blow off the, it's a texture thing. I hear that a lot.
I hear that so much.
It's a texture thing.
I hear that so much.
That's
daily, that it comes from my husband.
That's an avoidance sign. It's there for a reason. So the first thing I would say is identifying and honoring those foods that you avoid, because you are avoiding them for a reason, and there are missing links that are probably indicating what might need some support in your body. The second one, which is the gift, is that through all my years of working with clients and research, I actually developed a quiz to help narrow down and help to identify your first like primary or your most dominant food clue.
Right, that's amazing.
So in just a few minutes of, again, clicking on the foods that you avoid, I'm able to easily and then provide to you your first food clue to let you know what might be that missing link. Is it liver? Might it be a little bit of an old unresolved infection or an old unresolved injury that might be holding back? Some healing that might still need to be done from an old surgery. Those are the things that might pop up as missing links that might be holding your body's optimal function back. And in this case, might be holding back that normalized hormone production and hormone elimination that needs to be happening at a later age in a different way than it did when we were younger.
Wow.
So that's what I've developed. And I'm pretty sure that this will kind of get included in the show notes. But for anybody who wants to take the quiz, you can go to www.myfoodclues.com/quiz. It'll take you right there. And in a couple minutes,
I think everyone should take the quiz. Everyone. Whether you feel that you're having a problem or not, everybody should take the quiz, right? Don't you agree?
Yes, because we're talking about
understanding, it's knowledge, it's understanding. Yeah,
exactly.
It's good for a little bit dive deeper dive into what your body's doing.
100%. So yes.
Amazing. Well, I'm already loving food clues, I can tell you that. And I'm so grateful that you are helping women in this, bridge this gap, meet in the middle, like you say. It's amazing. So this has been such a high level conversation. Amazing. Is there anything that you would like to add, Dr. Alexis? Anything?
I think just to, again, honor your experience and honor the way that you feel. One of the number one things that I hear from clients a lot is that they feel dismissed or unheard or like nobody's listening to them.
Yes.
What you're experiencing is valid, no matter what anybody has said in any way, shape, or form. It's 100% valid. And sometimes it just takes finding the right person to listen and know what your story means. Like you're telling your story in your words as you experience. Sometimes it just takes finding the right practitioner to be able to kind of dig through and find the clues and put your puzzle pieces together to find the solutions that work for you.
In this stage right now, I feel like women just sometimes don't know where to turn or who to turn to.
Exactly.
And,
they don't know the solutions.
No woman should suffer in silence. It's not right. It's not right. No one has to suffer in silence. That's why I'm so glad that we have you, Food Clues, and of course, the Midlife Empress brand to help these women get to know their body better, open it up. Let's meet in the middle. Let's find out what's going on. We're here to support you. No one has to be alone in this journey.
Yes, you're not alone. Your symptoms are valid. We are here to listen, and healing more naturally is 100% possible. That's the last thing. It is possible. I'm in my own, regimen right now, cleaning out my things for my hormone production shift because I'm going through it right now. So I personally can see like the evidence of understanding my food clues and identifying what I need for my own body. So between myself and my clients, it is 100% possible. So
yeah,
it's very
food is medicine.
It is.
And food is medicine, and God wants us to, he says it in the Bible, so we have to make sure that we are just digging a little deeper into what's going on in our bodies. And I always like to say, when you're out shopping in the grocery store, stay out of the middle aisles.
Yes. Stay on the outskirts.
Stay on the perimeter. Don't go into the middle aisles, because that's where the poison is, to me. I'm sorry, but you can't heal your body if you're eating in the middle aisles.
Yes, that can definitely be. I've heard that. I've spoken that to a number of people. So yes, minimizing processing, and yes, food is medicine. And I think another conversation that I have often is, if food is medicine, then what are you taking if your body can't tolerate the foods? So that's another aspect of where Food Clues comes in. I'm able to help people figure out why they aren't able to tolerate, so that they can return back to that natural source of medicine. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so very much. And we will link in the show notes if you want to take the quiz. I encourage it. Dr. Alexis Sams encourages everyone to take this quiz. So we will link it in the show notes. And how can one find you, Dr. Alexis? How can one find you? How can one work with you?
You can find me on mostly Facebook and Instagram, and I'm the Food Allergy Doc. They both social media channels. My email, you can email foodallergydoc@gmail.com. You can email me any question, any concern. I love communicating with people, especially when they want to take that step to help their bodies more naturally. So shoot me a message on either one of those channels. And then the homepage is www.myfoodclues.com. You can go there to learn more about my work. There's extra resources for education, and you can also get all of my links to contact me there.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, for you women, midlife menopausal women, listen, if you are just looking for a place to go just for community support, jump on over to our group. We absolutely love on every woman there. We help you get the knowledge, everything that you need there. It's Successful Irradiant Women Facebook group. Jump on over there. And until next time, tune in again to the Midlife Empress Podcast, and be sure to download subscribes, like, share, do all the things, okay? Share it with a friend. When you do these things, this helps other women find us. And we are here to do nothing but love and support. So until next time, bye for now. Thank you so much.
No problem.